Now for today's starting five, brought to you by Bounty, the quicker picker-upper. North Carolina rolling out the same starting five. One thing to note, junior guard India Navarre playing her former school. She competed for Stanford her freshman campaign before transferring back home, a North Carolina native. For the Cardinal, the same starting five for the 8th consecutive game featuring 3 underclassmen. That is the first time the Cardinal have that many youngsters starting for that long since the 2018-2019 season. And tip-off is just moments away. Interesting to watch the youth on display in the development this season for the Cardinal. Battle for the opening possession. A little bit tricky. Carolina will have the first go at it.
And with the youth on the Cardinal side, they're playing against a very experienced team, one of the most experienced in terms of games played in the entire country.
Feeding inside to Gakdang, nice pass out. Kelly's 3 offline.
And you see the great box out initially from Stanford, and here's where they want to get going on the pace. Clardy, though, slows it up.
This North Carolina defense also going to be good in transition, which should make a very interesting matchup. It's not just their half-court defense. They've been able to slow things down throughout the season, which is why you see so many low-scoring games.
Yeah, lowest points per game in the ACC, lowest opponent field goal average. They do everything on the defensive end.
But how about that? Nunu Aguirre.
I think that this Stanford team could pick up a win.
Usby kicking out. Navarre beyond the arc, too strong. To your point, though, Kelly, about the Cardinal, Aguirre has been exceptional. When you look at the improvement, she's top 10 in the ACC in scoring, rebounding, and free-throw attempts. And it's a three-point party here to get the Cardinal up 5-0.
The best way to start for the Stanford Cardinal, get inside play going and then go ahead and drop down a 3. Both these teams average about 8 threes a game.
Sophomore Chloe Clardy getting in on the action on the other end. It's the interior scoring getting it done as Gakdang gets the Tar Heels on the board as that one's batted out of bounds. It will stay here. And you look at the losses, they're all quality losses to a second-ranked UConn team early in the season as that 3 won't go. Board brought in by Usby. To a top 25 Georgia Tech team, Notre Dame, and then Florida State last week, and they are now a top 25 ranked team as they deserve as Navarre splashes 65-52 win over the top 20 California Golden Bears on Thursday for this North Carolina team as Vazgana's drive's a little too strong. This time it's the Heels pushing pace. Navarre thought about it, gets it to Usby. Kelly back to Navarre, little pump fake there. Navarre driving up off the glass, no. Second chance, yes, from Gakdang.
Gakdang will be active on the offensive glass. She is so good at reading the ball, grabbing it off the rim, and putting it back in.
Rebounding battle also one to watch in this one. These two teams about even in the ACC in terms of boards per game, but
yeah, but I think that's a good point, too, because you cannot start your break unless you get that board. So I believe this rebounding battle is going to be essential in this one.
5 to shoot, and the mid-range rattles home. Head coach Kate Pay, 11-9 record, 3-6 in the ACC. Earned a huge win over Florida State, which did get bumped up from a quad 2 win to a quad 1 as a walk is called
for them to pick up some good wins. Hopefully tell the NCAA committee that they deserve to be on that top 64 NCAA team.
E.G. Woye grabs her own board. Second opportunity here for the Cardinal, and certainly they have a case, and they have a great and important stretch in front of them as Dimitri.
Notable players, E.G. Woye, Aguirre, and then Vazgana.
A couple of substitutes coming on here for the Cardinal. Mary Ashley Stevenson checking in, and Gakdang gets it done down low. Oh, we love that connection. Clardy loves driving to the basket.
And I think that's going to be important. She has been playing really well as of late, and I think she could be the X factor today because you know what you have from a couple different positions, but Clardy stepping up is big.
Donarski stepping up in the mid-range last weekend, 7 of 13 from the floor, 8 of 11 from the free throw line as there is another takeaway for the Tar Heels. Up ahead to Usby on the break, batted away, big defensive play. Back into Usby. Donarski around the screen, pulls up from the elbow, and it's true.
And no help coming off that screen at all. This is the best shooter on the floor for UNC. You've got to defend that better.
Usby averaging a team best right about 11.5 points per game, nearly 9.5 boards as well as the feed to Ume, up and in.
Well, with Aguera out with the foul.
We look at, for example, Aguera, who's a little more versatile, maybe a true 4, but provides that interior scoring as her free throw is offline. Presented by Allstate, you're in good hands.
Playing against people in the ACC that have those bigs that are central inside.
Grace Townsend checking in for the heels, and the corner tray goes. Coming in, really getting it going here early. Aguera rises up, no. Showing off her versatility, bringing the ball up the floor, the 6'2" forward.
Just as we were talking about high percentages from the field, both sides missing easy ones.
A little under a 30-second differential here between the game clock and shot clock, and that's a block. Aguera getting it done defensively, turns it over, and Townsend cashes in for the heels.
It was always the number one thing, number one no-no. I remember my coach saying, never save it in under their basket.
4 turnovers in the last 3.5 minutes for the Cardinal. Shot clock off now. The Tar Heels looking to get the last shot here before the first quarter break. Townsend weaving through traffic, rises up in the lane, up off the glass.
Perfect finish, uses the clock. Great end for UNC in this first quarter.
North Carolina extending the lead, a 7-0 run over the last 2:40. Second quarter now underway. North Carolina ending that first quarter on an impressive 11-1 run, while the Cardinal just struggled to maintain control of the basketball with a flurry of turnovers as Bozgana's 3 is too strong.
Okay, that is Bianca Thomas's 6th rebound already in just 3 minutes of play. That girl has been all over the glass.
The 6'5" freshman center out of Charlotte, North Carolina, as there's a miss in the other end. Usby running, pushing pace here. And off to Donarski from the elbow. Pretty looking shot. But I was waiting for you to bring up post play.
I know, right?
You haven't talked about it enough.
We need it. I did talk about my post there with the rebounds, but a great look.
To your point about Latson having some help, she certainly does. As Usby kicks it out for some help. Kelly thought about it. Get late in the shot clock here. 8 to shoot. No, but a foul is called on Bozgana. Donarski, a player who transferred in prior to last season. Big 12 freshman of the year earlier on in her career. A 2-time all-defensive team selection. But you also see the increased confidence she has on the offensive end.
But her defense is so good. They will always put her on one of the best players. Love those Midwesterns. We got a couple Minnesota players, which I have not mentioned, and it's been too long into the broadcast that I have not brought up my home state of Minnesota. So
more about Post and Minnesota, the state of Minnesota. That's it. The land of lakes. Aguera sinks the free throw.
Well, it seems to be a Stanford thing, right? You think about what they did with Area Fenn. Coming in was the player, or the most improved player in the nation last year, of course. Now she's at UNC. Is great look there by Ijiwoye.
Want to stay tuned for that conversation. We'll have a look around the ACC, some first half highlights and much more. That's coming up at the halftime break. Gakdeng, though.
She got to have with the great head coach back when she was at Princeton, and I mean, we'll talk about it at halftime, but this woman
having similar conversations like the one Coach Barnhart mentioned, where Vanderveer was willing to give advice, getting to coach against Tara Vanderveer, and also utilizing her as a mentor over at Calno. Head coach Sharman Smith, another one coming from the Tara Vanderveer coaching tree, also playing for Tara as well. Her fingerprints are just all across the women's game, and you know that she's also a big proponent of women as head coaches in this sport, as Gakdeng continues to stay hot.
And I think that's what's so special about her, is she promotes women, and she did it for so many years. And you know, she also, Coach Pay had a hard first year when she first got the job, and look at the backdoor look. Great because of her, what she does on the defensive end in particular, leads this team in steals.
Rebound just batted off the hands of Aguera, and Gakdeng continues to lead the charge for the Tar Heels.
I think Stanford's got to keep players down to rebound longer. You only have a couple posts in there trying to get the board, and Aguera, nice look.
Grant, the freshman guard, getting a little bit hung up, but nice footwork, puts it home. Dimitri back in the game. On the inbounds, finds Clardy. 9 points for Clardy to lead the Cardinal, and it's a nice pass. Foul called as Ume went up with it. Something key here is Gakdeng was just called for her 3rd foul, so she heads to the bench, and that could be huge for the Tar Heels in the second half if she remains in foul trouble and has to spend some time on the bench.
Yeah, and if I'm Kate Pay, I want to get Agera in the game right now.
The hit series returns. Wild cards. By the way, they're in the bonus now. North Carolina with 5 fouls as a team. Everyone in the gym screaming for a walk. No call. Grant. Townsend for 3. No. Whistle here on the baseline.
Okay.
It is Stanford ball.
So it was the wrong call at first. Well, now I will say that's always frustrating from the post.
Brooke Dimitri now goes to the line here as once again Stanford in the bonus, and Dimitri pointed out Coach Pay said has really been developing her ability under the basket, but just trying to get her going. Players really taking the charge as the Stanford team lost 3 very experienced players from 1 season ago, and Hannah Jump, who was a graduate student, Cameron Brink, who went on to the W. As that top turnaround won't fall for Donarski, but the second chance goes. That continues to be a theme here as Thomas gets it done.
That's now 8 points in 7 minutes.
Stanford has not scored in about the last 3 minutes. Ogden rises up, splashes in,
Finishing with the high release.
Stanford now within 4 here with 1:11 to go before the halftime break. And here they force a turnover. Clardy back in the game, running the show here for the Cardinal. Agera driving on Usby, double team through contact.
I love her athleticism too. When she is up in the air, she can alter her body.
The player who has the ball in their hands late in games, that's a lot to ask of a sophomore, Kelly.
Yeah, it certainly is, especially when you're not used to that in the year before. Now, what she is used to that is in her high school days. 2-time state champion. She played with Paige Becker. She was just a young freshman then, but she knows a thing or two about taking over. And Renaya Kelly, though, with the answer.
Another sophomore having an outstanding season. Extends the lead back to 4 for North Carolina. About a 13-second differential here between the game clock and shot clock. Clardy pulls up from beyond the arc, misses everything. Not the possession that Stanford was looking for, as they had the chance to once again close the gap here before the halftime break. Shot clock off now. Tar Heels looking for the last shot of the half. Kelly up against Clardy. Kelly pulls up off the screen. You can't go under on Renaya Kelly, and she makes the Cardinal pay. Last opportunity off the glass, and it looked good. No good, though, for Stanford.
What has your message been to Kate in particular throughout this season?
Well, just, you know, Kate is a brilliant young coach, and she's working really hard. Just encourage her to enjoy the moment, you know. Be herself, enjoy coaching these young players. They have a very young team, and they've got great talent coming next year. So that's really exciting.
That's one thing I want to ask about is just how excited are you for the future of this program? You've got 3 underclassmen in the starting lineup right now that are showing a ton of promise, but still adjusting to new roles. What are your expectations for the future?
Well, I think that the freshmen are doing really well. It's a big adjustment from high school to college. But more than anything, I think that it's the incoming freshmen next year will have a great opportunity. And these young players are getting great experience. But we've got to rebound better.
And this obviously being a K Yao game, a play for K game, do you have any special memories? I know you guys knew each other and coach with and against each other often. What are some of your favorite memories of Coach Yao?
You know, one time we were both at the Olympic Center and we both got food poisoning, so we were in the hospital together.
Oh, gosh.
Yes. But besides that, she gave me great advice when I was coaching the Olympic team.
What goes into that?
Well, I just think there's a lot of fans that want to know more about basketball. So I'm teaching a class, basketball master class. I've got fabulous guests coming. Steve Kerr, Jennifer Azzi. It's been great. There's about 500 people that are in class, and I'm working really hard.
My question is, I have quite a few friends who have retired, you know, from Division I basketball, and there's always something that the retired coaches want to do. I think the outside game has got to start being a little bit more efficient for this Stanford team, because you can't get to your bread and butter, which has been your inside with Aguirre, unless you start making yourself an outside threat.
Well, that's the thing. Stanford has been able to have the inside presence. 3 to shoot here, though. Speaking of Aguirre, she rises up just in time. Gets the shot. 8 to shoot. Kicks it out. Navarre wide open. No. Almost batted away. Shoot about 37.5% from 3, which is top 10 nationally, top 5 in the ACC. But these past 2 games, they just seem to have gone totally cold.
Yeah, they are one of the best teams in the ACC at three-point percentage, and that is despite having quite a few games where they were pretty low in succession. But this, though, is going to be a problem. Ume working hard down low, can't miss her.
Gets the ball over the top and finishes the play.
And that was a perfect pass by Boscana.
Nearly 7 boards per game and 2+ assists because of passes like that. The crowd getting into it as well. Some defense. Great attendance here at Maples, want to mention. Usby from the top of the key, and it's true. Neal pulls up, finds Clardy. Not quite in her shot pocket. She'll reload.
I like this tandem with Ume and Aguirre in this game. I think they got to utilize Ume on the block.
Oh, what a cut. Clardy puts it home. Boscana got a piece of it. Usby on the drive, no. Aguirre made sure no one else got that board.
Yeah, I like that matchup, though. Usby and Aguirre, so interesting to see that way this will play out.
He'll have the transition 3, Boscana's 3 offline. It'll stay down here. Stanford, though, has to take advantage by scoring baskets and closing that deficit. Clardy, tough take. Foul called on the fight for the board.
Must-score opportunity right now for Stanford.
Off the baseline, out to Aguirre. Aguirre going to work on Gakdane, pulls it out. Heel. Driving with the footwork again and gets the finish. The junior guard making an impact here in the second half.
The open lane was friendly, and great job being able to force the issue and drop it in.
Meanwhile, Townsend looks for the response. Kicks it out. Beautifully done by Usby. Interesting
to see Ijiwoye with 4 fouls at the timeline right now. That's a lot of faith Coach Pei has in her freshman.
Aguirre, the 6'2" sophomore forward, shooting just about 34% from beyond the arc. Not at a high volume as Townsend joins the 3-point party. 5-second difference here between the game clock and shot clock. Dimitri cutting through traffic, and 1 opportunity. 1 rebound, 1 assist in 14 minutes, as I mentioned earlier. Coming off 5 games in double figures while she averages about 10 points per game. Could this spark a little bit more confidence for the senior forward? Last chance here, Townsend out of time. Usby tried to get it off. Wouldn't go anyway. North Carolina holds on to the 11-point lead here at the end of the third. Stanford starting to heat up. Now leading this new era of Cardinal basketball with a lot of youngsters on the squad this season looking for a massive upset at home today.
Yeah, she's going through growing pains, certainly. This is not what we expect of a Stanford team. With this young group that's coming together, and then the number 3 recruiting class in the country coming in next year, Stanford is going to be right back where they were.
Gakdane denied by Dimitri. Clardy pushing. Clardy driving, no. Usby the board.
Well, this is an important quarter right now for Stanford. They have got to shore up some things that they've been struggling on. One being the rebounding. Great to see Aguirre get on that board, but going hard after the ball, I think, is something that we have been seeing UNC do. They're going after the 50-50 balls. You can tell that they're playing with a little more intensity than Stanford, and that's surprising because Stanford is a team that plays so well on their home court in front of their home fans.
Heel, meanwhile, gets the shooter's roll. Boscana's third. She stays in the game here as we're into the fourth quarter. The senior guard out of Athens, Greece. Parents happen to be in the stands for this one. Gakdeng posting up. Townsend with plenty of time, and she knocks it down.
Gakdeng requires so much help inside that paint, so much attention, that Townsend was left wide open along the three-point line as she found her.
Can we talk about North Carolina's three-point shooting in this game? Over 50% as Dimitri makes it look easy.
And UNC has done a fantastic job on both ends of the floor.
Gakdeng, no, through traffic. Bozgana pushing. Clardy, nice pass. Aguirre denied, though.
Because of plays like that.
Usby leading the team with 23 blocks coming into this game.
That girl has played every single sport known to man growing up in Edina, or it's not Edina, I'm sorry, that's where I'm from. Growing up in Minnesota.
Rochester.
Yeah, Rochester.
Just outstanding stuff for the graduate student guard forward.
I mean, hardly even two people in for the fight for that offensive rebound. I think Stanford's got to go after every possession. There you go.
Loses the handle. Clardy out and running. Clardy draws the foul. The sophomore guard averaging just under 9 points and 3 boards per game. Mentioned coming off a couple of big outings, though, was a Pac-12 All-Freshman honorable mention selection last season, a key player off the bench. But to see the kind of confidence and aggression she has when she drives the basketball, that's impressive.
I love it. And this is what you want, too. You want those players to be playing their best basketball.
Opts to get it inside to Usby. Navarre pulls up from the elbow. Bozgana the board. Bozgana pushing. Finds Dimitri. Oh, great fake. Bozgana dials it up from 3, and it's true! Stanford within 3. Single possession game here at Maples. The Cardinal come roaring back in the fourth quarter. That is today's game summary presented by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. Gakdeng back in the game with 4 fouls. Tries to go up on Ume. North Carolina ball on the baseline. Donarski for 3.
Stanford needs to use this possession as Renaya Kelly picks up.
North Carolina led by as many as 15 with about 4 to go in the third quarter. Bozgana's try won't go. Ball batted around. Second chance goes. And one opportunity for the fantastic freshman, Kennedy Ume.
And finally, Stanford uses the offensive rebounding to their advantage. It's been all UNC this game. Staying tough on the glass is Ume. Gets the rebound and the foul, an opportunity at a three-point play.
Coach Pay really excited and talking to us about Ume's contributions off the bench. Has been getting more minutes recently. 4 points against Pitt. Just 1 against Cal, 6 points against Duke during this last stretch of ACC play, and she has made an impact with 8 points in this one, including 4 or 5 from the charity stripe. Meanwhile, Kelly.
Gotta love those point guards.
Kelly now with 7. Stanford now looking for an answer. Aguirre going to work. No. Usby the board. Intensity building here on the farm. The crowd at Maples making some noise. Kelly gets tripped up, still dribbles the basketball somehow. Excuse me. That was ridiculous. And she pulls up and hits this. Oh my goodness. North Carolina extends the lead. She's impressed by the fact that she tripped and fell and kept dribbling the basketball and had the wherewithal to then make a play and hit a pull-up shot.
I'm surprised actually no Stanford defender got on that ball. I mean, I see that on the floor. I'm jumping over it.
Stanford in the bonus. Should mention they're 2 of 10 in their last couple of field goal attempts. Critical final 2.5 minutes to go here. Donarski gets it up off the glass. Big bucket for North Carolina.
And North Carolina showing us why they are number 15 in the country. They are not rattled at all by this attempt at a comeback by Stanford. They just, possession after possession, are putting in points.
A 7-0 run for the Tar Heels. Ume posting up Gakdeng. Keep in mind, The North Carolina center is 4 fouls. 3 to shoot. Got to do something here. Throwing it up towards the basket. It does hit off the rim. And the second chance. And the foul. The Cardinals do not give up on the play. So she has fouled out. One of the best players and biggest post presence for this Tar Heels team will not play in the final 133. Aguera knocks down the free throw. Usby gets it back to Kelly. This time it's E.G. Woye on Kelly. 8 on the shot clock. Donarski handoff. Kelly around the screen. No. Aguera runs down the board. Under a minute to play here. 4-point deficit for the Cardinal.
Stanford with 3 timeouts. I was certain that Kate Pay was going to take one, reconvene with her team.
Aguera says, put the team on my back. Stanford within 2. 69-67 is in fact the score. North Carolina basketball.
Stanford with 2 fouls to give. We're sitting at 3.
8-second difference here between the game clock and shot clock. Kelly on E.G. Woye once again. Kelly back to Donarski. Donarski on the drive. No! Stanford the rebound. Timeout called immediately.
What a defensive stop by Stanford. E.G. Woye, not only did she defend the ball handler to perfection, the table is set for Stanford. That's what I'll say, to go ahead and take it, get this win, potentially some more, and hoping to get back in that conversation for the NCAA.
You saw on your screen a moment ago some of the other teams that they're maybe up against are also in that picture. Aguera driving. Aguera puts it up. No! Last second. Ball still pinging around, and then Stanford does get the foul.
Even if Ume tips the ball right here, that will be game over.
Ball in play, and that will do it. North Carolina remains perfect on the road. They close out what was a tight one against Stanford, 69-67.